Holy shit. We are live. Check this out. This is fantastic. This is amazing shit. I've never done this. I feel naked, kind of, sort of. I'm not wearing any pants right now, so, do with that information as you want. We are the Late Night Enforcers. My name is Ian. I'm Fiend75002. That guy at the bottom of my screen is, go ahead and,
What's going on, everybody? My name is Ryan, also known as Sleek Stealthy 85. You see it there at the bottom of the screen. That's how we do things around these parts. You know what I'm saying? Ian, how you doing tonight? You doing all right?
Hey, man, I cannot complain. I'm doing very good. You see, man, I got shit. I got stuff. I got things to do. Man, hey,
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 hey. I
hey.
can't do the Christopher Walken, eventually, I start talking in New York, and then it starts dropping into Jersey, and it hits Philly, and then for some reason, I just break into the Russian for absolutely no reason.
You're coming at me all wrong. Your mama, can your mom sew? Bow! Get her to stitch that.
Yeah, exactly, right? Oh, man. How's your day, bro?
It's good-ish, as good as it can be where I am. How
Yeah.
was your day, bro?
My day was outstanding. It's really busy. My boss, for people watching who don't know, I got a new job a couple months ago. Been loving it so far. My boss is out of town this week on vacation. He's the only one that typically signs off on my deals. Think of it like you were taking something to me for an exception at the old place. So with him being gone, I have to go to the CEO, and with that, he's bouncing around everywhere all over the place. It took me 2 days to get 10 deals signed off on, but I finally got it done. Sales has been up my ass. But it's been fun, dude. I love every day of it. It's great. And the drive is surprisingly so much better.
I hate you for that.
I know you do, but that's
It
okay. One
it
day. One
it
day.
took me. It took me. So yesterday I was leaving from my place here in McKinney, and I drive out to Irving. For those of you who don't know, for my job, and I was passing the tollway that's out here, the Sam Raimi tollway. I'm gonna go ahead and call it that. And I was like, I'm a little late. Let me go ahead and just hop on this thing and save some time. So I'm driving, and there's an accident on the toll road. So
Whoa, there's
yeah,
an accident on the tollway?
yeah,
Wow.
I've never seen one. This is the first for me. So there you are with 3 lanes down to one. So that was cool. That saved a lot of time. No, and then I coming home, I was like, all right, I'm gonna take 635. It's cool. I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna be chill. I'm gonna be relaxed. I got my podcasts. I got my Iron Druid. We're good. We're good. I'm gonna just cruise with that. One accident on 635. That's fine because it didn't really take up that many spots.
Only one. That's actually impressive.
Well, only one that I saw.
Oh,
Because
okay.
usually there's still traffic from accidents that happened at 2 a.m. on that thing. At 6 p.m. when I'm leaving my work. And then, I get on 75 and there's another accident. And then that one's got like 3 out of like 5 lanes messed up because of, the Hov lane is jacked. And then you've got fire trucks that are having to get out there and block everything up. What is going on? It should be starting soon.
All right, sorry. I was looking at the chat. Sorry, I'm listening to you as well. Apparently, Cynthia Coleman is having a little bit of an issue seeing it. To everybody watching right now, I also have it up. I had to pause and hit play so that I could actually see the video. It is up and running. If you have an issue with it, please let us know. We can always stop and restart if we need to. This is our first time doing this kind of format, so bear with us while we kind of work out some of the kinks. My goal, and I believe Ian's as well, is to do interactive podcasting like this because while this is the first podcast I've ever done with the same person consistently, Ian's done them for years and has always just recorded and posted. So we like the interactive part since we both live stream video games. We figured we'd throw out, let's do our podcast live stream as well, because we feel that it gets our viewers interactive with us instead of just commenting later and having a discussion. Speaking of discussions, before we jump into the great debate that we're going to be doing this evening, I wanted to ask, what are you drinking, broski?
Oh, snap. That's a good question. So, as many of you know, one of the other podcasts that I take place in, and I'm sorry, I'm going to do a plug for the other one here too. Super Barley Brothers is a video game beer, craft beer podcast. So, of course, I'm drinking a delicious craft beer, and that light is just shining right off that can. So, this is a Deep Ellum Brewery Double Brown Stout. It is a deliciously dark, heaven-esque. Where's my 7% alcohol by volume? Is delicious. It's smooth. It's not too carbonated. I mean, you can pour it hard and get a really good head on it, which I didn't do because I was over here by my computer when I was pouring it. And the last thing I wanted to do is have it spill all over the place.
Yeah, that probably would have been bad. For those people who are watching who don't know, and there's already been instances in the chat, and you can look at the shirt I'm wearing. It's my trainer made this shirt. You read the front. You can see what it says. I'll show everybody the back, and I'll show the symbol that he has. I hope you can get a good look there. Apex Fitness, my trainer, has had me on a really strict diet and workout plan, so I haven't really been drinking that often, maybe a beer or two when I'm streaming video games, but I haven't had any hard liquor for going on 10 weeks now at least. Made considerable progress. I like it. But tonight I am back on the K. By the way, it is pronounced K, like the Spanish what or the letter K, not key. I've been saying it wrong for all this time. So you can just see in the glass, it is back to the Gentleman Jack glass. However, it's a nice little thing of whiskey. This will be the only thing of hard liquor that I have for a while. And I'm sure if he's going to watch or watches this later, I'm going to get slayed. So that'll be fun.
So let me ask you, the ice ball that you got in there now, is that the one that's the Death Star, or is that just a regular ice ball?
No, it's just a regular ice ball. I got for Father's Day, I got a pack of like 6 of those ice balls instead of just the one that I had, so I can freeze multiples. So if when I do go back to drinking whiskey on the regular, I can just switch out ice balls instead of throwing cubes in after the one's done until I figure out I want whiskey stones or something like that.
So what's the difference between an ice cube and a whiskey stone?
The whiskey stone doesn't melt. It's a legitimate stone. You throw it in the freezer, and that will freeze, get nice and cold. You throw it in there, pour the whiskey in, and it just sits there and cools it down. It doesn't water down your liquor. Whereas the ice ball, it waters it down a little bit, thins it out. So a lot of people like that. If you like liquor on the rocks, then you're gonna like the ice ball. If you like, just getting your liquor neat, you like a whiskey neat, a scotch neat, whatever you like, then you're gonna want to do the whiskey stones, or they're generally called whiskey stones. I haven't heard another name for them, but that's what most people will do.
Okay, interesting. I just, I'm a beer guy. I don't do a lot of hard liquor drinking, so I didn't know what the hell a whiskey stone was. Well, real quick, I want to focus on this comment Sam made. Why does Ian pronounce the Hovlane instead of using the letters? That's the real question. It's because it's the Hovlane.
No, it's the HOV lane.
Do you see periods between letters?
Oh my God! Everybody in the world pronounces it HOV. Are you a fucking moron?
Hovlane.
It is not the Hovlane.
It is the Hovlane. I'm different. I'm special.
Yeah, you are special. Yeah, you are special.
One of these days.
I don't like DLC. I don't like blah blah blah. Okay, before we get into this bullshit, I need to take a nice big pull off this whiskey.
We're just gonna dive right into this shit.
Why the hell not, dude? I mean, we got to go ahead and get this chat bumping. So, DLC season passes. This is the great debate that we're going to be doing this evening. Ian, you and I've had this conversation many a time. Let's go ahead. I want you to throw out your opinions, and kind of the general gamer community tends to side with you on it. Let's go ahead and throw out yours, and I'm going to jump in as I normally do.
Yeah, you are. You're going to interrupt me with your businessman mentality instead of me being that long-haired hippie freak that's talking about the consumer instead of the business portions of it. So really how this all started is we were working together, and I think you purchased – it was one of the Assassin's Creeds, I think it was, or it was Watch Dogs. I'm not even sure what it was, but we were talking about it, and he had already purchased the season pass before there was even anything released as far as what would be in the season pass. Yes, we knew that we would have some type of single player content that was going into it, but then there was all sorts seriously with the Team Ryan stuff. Just keep it going. Just keep it going. And then so there's all sorts of stuff that's not, you don't even know what you're going to get in a lot of these season passes. They're just, and right as the game is being announced, like it wasn't long after Batman Arkham Knight was announced that they were like, you know, pre-order, and that's a whole other fucking podcast waiting to happen, is all about pre-orders. And then there was, and shortly thereafter, they're like, here's the season pass. It will have such great stuff in it. Here's 2 of them. I don't like the fact that a company can sit there and get you to, and try to get you to spend another additional $30 on a game, and then only offer you a certain cut of their DLC. Case in point, let's go back to Borderlands 2. When Borderlands 2 came out, I loved the hell out of Borderlands 1. Loved it. Enjoyed it so much. And I think I ended up buying every single DLC pack for it. Well, Borderlands 2 comes out, and there I am just grinding through it, having a good old time with it, playing with friends. Some friends don't understand that people actually want to hear the story, and they keep progressing the story without letting me hear the story. But whatever, that's besides the point. And then a friend of mine decides to go ahead and procure me the season pass so that we can all play all the DLC together. Well, see, there's a problem when your DLC is 8 to 12 to 20 hours long, and you release it month after month after month after month in rapid succession. I had just barely finished the main campaign when I jumped into the first DLC. I barely finished the first DLC by the time the third DLC had released. So it was kind of one of these things where it was like, it was just getting dumped on me. So obviously it was something that was built and held aside for the, oh really, with the blah, blah, blahs, held aside for me to have to purchase at a later time. Now, granted, I understand that it is an expensive trait to, you know, an expensive thing to make these games. But one part of my argument against the season pass is that if you're going to, you know, throw it out there and just shotgun that stuff out, you're not allowing people to kind of play out and be like, okay, well, that was a cool game. Well, when the next DLC comes out, I'll join in and play again. You're just sitting there going, don't leave my game. Don't leave my game. Don't leave my game. And you get burned on it like real quick. Like I did, I'd never finished all the DLC packs for Borderlands 2 because there was so much of it all at once. Here's another thing, is that some companies don't actually discern the difference between what is their season and what is not their season. Still using Borderlands 2, because this is the one that I'm going to use a lot during this debate, is they had a character come out. Now, I'm not talking about the little girl. The little girl was tied in with the season pass, and you got her. There was another character, some type of psycho that was more melee-based along those lines. He came out before the 4th DLC pack that was part of the season pass was out. So he came out in the middle of the season, let's just say middle, but he wasn't part of the season pass. So my whole thought process is, if you say you're going to get DLC from this point until the last DLC pack, every bit of DLC that comes in between that should be part of your season. I've never seen a TV show nor a professional sport start something else in the middle of the season. Doesn't happen. So you're changing the rules for your own gain. And then, you know, they went on to do a bunch of little itty bitty things for, I think it was seasonal based stuff like Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, stuff like that. That's fine. They should have sold a season pass for that as well, because it would have been spaced out a month apart like they're used to. And those were only like 2 hours long or something along those lines. But my whole thing is that the season pass, you don't always know what you're going to get. And it may not even be comparable to what you want it to be. Like, and I'm going to go on one more little rant, and then I'm going to hand it over to Ryan and let him put his 2 dirty little pennies in. Is Alien Isolation was a game that I recently played through. And if you bought it new on first day, you got a little bit of DLC, which was another story-based type of thing. If you pre-ordered it from GameStop, I think it was, you got another little story bit of DLC. Everything else is challenge rooms. and that's, to me, that's not, I don't want to do that. Give me other sections from other movies or from the main movie that I could work into it and play through. Not okay, now try to survive the alien for 10 minutes, and by the way, you have a noisemaker strapped to your back that's just constantly going off, so he's going to be chasing you all the time. It's being unclear with it is not fair to your consumers.
So I do understand the point, and we've had this argument plenty of times, so I already know essentially how this is going to go regardless. Um, when, as far as the Alien Isolation piece is concerned, I'll agree that that is highly annoying because, as you'll find out with, and as you probably did find out with Arkham Origins, um, every piece of DLC was challenge rooms. The Robin pack, the Deathstroke pack, all of that was all side challenge pieces. No part of it was story. That has been the one season pass that I have been legitimately angry about. And I'm just going to lay it out there for everybody. I got started on season passes, surprise, surprise, with COD 4, Modern Warfare 1. I was in Iraq at the time, so I didn't get the ability to purchase the season pass, and I came back and there was all this extra stuff. I was like, buy, yes. And then working through the COD series, every time a game came out, I would just go ahead and get the season pass because I wanted the extra maps, I wanted the extra shit, because everybody I played with also bought it every time. We'd either pre-order and get season pass the same day, or we'd go pick up whatever. I actually took a day off working at Capital One when Modern Warfare 2 came out and picked it up at GameStop off my pre-order with my season pass, bought that as soon as I installed the damn game, rocked through the campaign. And I actually enjoyed that game for the campaign part. I didn't really get too much into the multiplayer on that. I enjoyed it. I did it with friends. It was great, but I slowly started to get burned out on first-person shooter multiplayer stuff by Modern Warfare 3 because it's the same old shit. Every single game is the same old shit. The Advanced Warfare pack is the first game I have never bought the season pass for that had one. All the Assassin's Creeds, and I'm an Assassin's Creed fanboy, straight up, I'll admit it. You're a Halo fanboy, I'll go ahead and throw it out there.
But I don't buy the season passes.
That's true. That's true. It's because you're, against it to your core. Real quick, got a text message. Patrick McHugh, no, you did not post a chat. Okay, sorry about that. Continuing. Again, I bought all the season passes for all the Assassin's Creeds. A lot of it was because in the beginning part of that entire franchise, the story got me hooked so bad. I wanted the extra missions that came with it. And you got that. You got 1, 2, 3 extra storylines that were 4 or 5 missions long, and that was enough. They came out sporadically. The Borderlands 2 thing, that would have been stupid. I wouldn't have been able to put up with that. I never played Borderlands, but if you're running that much content and they're releasing it every 30 days, that's a poor release schedule. I'll straight out agree with that. But when it comes down to it, you have to look at the platforms that are coming, especially now with the Xbox One, the PS4. You're coming out with newer, better platforms that are using better graphics, better engines, need better processing, all of that. That's a cost to a business. Now, you can either get, and there's games that have been, this is stemming into a different point, into our most favorite game of all, Destiny. You can buy games complete with nothing ripped out of them, no DLC, no season pass, and you're going to spend upwards for vanilla, not collector's edition, not legendary edition, not any of the fucking goddamn prestige edition, any of that bullshit. You're going to spend for the vanilla-based game upwards of $90 minimum, because that's what you would have paid with the season pass and whatever DLC within the season anyway, right? So
Now,
if you're looking at that point, that's the base cost of the game regardless. My point has always been this with season passes. Granted, you don't know what you're going to be getting, but if the way I see it, if I buy a game, I'm going to be committed. If I'm going to spend my money on a game, then I'm going to be committed to that game and the future content. I didn't buy Advanced Warfare. I got it for Christmas. I'm not buying the season pass for it. The thing didn't even – it looked like it was trying to be Halo and it didn't quite get there. And
Titanfall.
and Titanfall straight out, especially because you get the nice cool mech warrior suit. It's a badass kill streak. But I mean, when's the last time you and I played that game? Like 6 months ago?
Shit.
It's still in my Xbox and I haven't even fired it up.
Oh, that's right. You're all digital. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, it's the only hard disk game I have for my one. Everything else I have is all digital. But my point with season passes and DLC is that if you are going to spend the $60 that games still cost brand new with price, with inflation, with everything else that's happening in the economy, the fact that game prices have not increased and skyrocketed to 90 plus minimum for the base vanilla game is impressive to me. So okay, Omega Hanzo, I'll never get a season pass. You can never get a season pass. I'm not sitting here trying to say everybody needs to buy a season pass. I'm explaining why I will buy them for the games that I buy when they have it.
Well, hold on real quick. I'm going to interject since you took a second to breathe. Let me just go ahead and call out a few games that I've actually played that don't have any DLC, that have a lot of added content to them. Let's talk about Grand Theft Auto 5. Now, be it on the PlayStation 3, 360, PC, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, every time they add something, they're not charging you for it. They've never charged you for anything except the base game to begin with. You have access to the single player campaign and you have access to everything through online. And when they added heists, they could have easily charged you. Oh, excuse me. They could have easily charged you at least $20 for the heists. I probably would have bought them because I've had a lot of fun with the heist. But because they didn't charge me, mentally, I'm not like so tied in to have to sit down on it and devour the damn thing right away like a buddy of mine did. Now, with that being said, when we get to Destiny, we're gonna talk in great detail about that pile of piss.
Destiny. Yeah, I've had ups and downs with that game, and I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed playing it. We can get to that in a second. I want to hit the chat real quick because Hassan, also Omega Hanzo, he stated there's no reason for him to get a season pass. He'll just buy the DLC or in packs. You're free to do that. I've done it. There's a couple of things I've actually purchased for Advanced Warfare. $1.99 here and there. Whatever it is. Or it's stupid. It's stupid. I spent more money on packs of cigarettes than I did on digital bullshit. And let's not even get me started on Warframe. Let's see.
Now, I'm with him on if you see a DLC thing that you want, purchase it. Like, as well as I do, last night I had a conversation. I'm going to go ahead and throw myself under the bus. We had a conversation about the season pass for Assassin's Creed Black Flag because it's like $10. And when I initially bought
deal.
Well, yeah, it is a deal, but there's only one bit of single player story stuff, which that's all I'm worried about. And I'm not paying $10 for, what was it, Freedom Cry, when everything else that's in that season pass is separately being discounted substantially. It's like, no, you know what? That's okay. I don't need it that bad. Hell, I have now 2 licenses for the fucking game. I got the $9 one that I bought when Best Buy was trying to clear their backlog of all the used ones they had, and then this month they offered it up for free as a games with gold for the Xbox One, so I grabbed that license just in case if I lose the disc.
Right. Well, heck, you could even just do a giveaway on the disc or something like that if you wanted to. I mean, if you've got it digitally, I got it digitally because the bundle I bought for my one was the Unity bundle, which gave me Unity and 4. I've already beat 4 on my 360. I have no need for it, so I uninstalled it. But like Unity, I bought the season pass for that, and I still haven't finished the extra DLC for that just because the main story at the end, there was no true main story. It didn't grab me. The ending kind of sucked, so I didn't even worry about the extra shit. And so that straight up, that was a season pass that I wasted money on.
Now, I'm sorry, man, I got to change gears because we didn't even mention on Cynthia's statement, and I have to agree with Cynthia.
I was going to go for that. I just forgot.
Yeah, so she's talking about these Telltale episodic games that come out in pieces. Now, these are like 2-hour chunk games, and they're games within themselves. It's not, you're not technically adding on. So it's like you could buy each Oh fuck! You could buy each individual episode for $5 if you like. If it was your first time, like when I did Walking Dead season 1, I bought each individual episode because at any point, if I wanted to bow out of it, like I don't care anymore, then I could walk away, my hands free. Now, when they announced that there was a season 2, the first thing I did is I bought that season pass because that gave me access to all of those episodes right from the get. At no point did I end up with something that was like a new shirt for Lee or a different jacket for Clementine. It was all gameplay stuff, and it wasn't like multiplayer maps either. And I understand that for Call of Duty because that is their main focus is the multiplayer stuff. But so I mean, hold on, what's going on? You mentioned YouTube 5 again. Really didn't need to. Well. I do agree. They didn't need to microtransaction, but there's nothing that causes that makes you have to buy into the shark cards to do that. If you just, and I hate to say this because this sounds just like a free-to-play game, Warframe. If you play enough of it, you're going to get plenty of money to do whatever you wanted. Like my main thing is I wanted to get the big apartment in the middle of the city, the really tall one that has the bong and the wine and the beer and the telescope. That's right, I'm creepy. So I wanted that one. So I actually thought about for just a minute purchasing one of those shark cards so I could quickly get the money to be able to buy it. But I maybe like 2 more hours in online and I got it too.
Well, so as far as the Warframe shit goes, because I'm gonna just straight out say it, I have probably spent, if I really wanted to total it up, 3 to 4 games worth of money on the microtransaction for that game. Because when I was out of work for a while and I had time in between applying for jobs, I'd apply for jobs for 2-3 hours and then I would grind out Warframe for a while. I don't know, for some reason I just felt like spending money on that game. There's really no rhyme or reason to it. But at the same time, like that, you can either and people talk about the Destiny grind to be like, oh man, that grind on a $60 game, blah blah blah. You have to grind for everything. There is no grind like an MMO that is free to play. Neverwinter's the same way, and I did a lot of Neverwinter that I just ground stuff out. I think I probably spent $10 on whatever currency in that game so I could buy something that was cool. But other than that, I didn't.
Didn't you buy your mount in that game?
Yeah, and that was a pack. It was a $10 pack for whatever currency that got me the mount, which was a badass tiger. I had kids that partied up with me that wanted to buy my mount from me for real money. So, right. But in games like that, you have to be able to justify it to yourself as far as spending money on microtransactions, on DLC, on season passes. It's all up to the consumer. Now, from a business standpoint, business is in it to make profit. These guys, nobody would buy these games for $90+ vanilla. You just wouldn't. Nowadays, it's too hard to even justify. Everybody now is really being picky and choosy on what they buy for $60. They look at it and go, do I really want to spend? No, you know what? How many people do we know they're going to wait for Game of the Year editions for $20 to $30 versions with everything? I personally don't feel like waiting that long to play a game. A lot of that is due to the fact of what I stream. Nobody's going to watch me play a game a year and a half later for just because I waited to spend $25 on it. I like doing playthroughs day of or maybe a week afterwards, depending on my own schedule. But I like getting games as close to the release date as I can. I don't pre-order anymore. It doesn't bother me pre-orders, but what I don't like is exclusivity pre-orders, and that'll be in another podcast because I know that's a whole other argument for you. But that'll probably make you like shave your head or something. I don't know.
Don't get crazy about that. So now, real quick, I do want to take a quick sidebar and commend you for actually purchasing. We're going to get to Cynthia here in just a second because that's like a paragraph.
I saw that too.
I do want to commend you for purchasing the week of release because that's when it's the most important to the developers. Like Ryan knows, and most of you guys know that I recently bought Arkham Knight. I didn't buy it the week of release. you know. But I bought it brand new at the full $60 price because I have all the other Arkham games on my PC, and I bought all those for like $5. So now I am a story buff, as we've kind of been going through, and I have been trying to get through all of the Arkham games to build up to Arkham Knight, and I'm okay with buying Arkham Knight right now because I wanted to give Rocksteady that kind of quick flash and let them know, I appreciate what you're doing, and here's me saying that within the first month you guys rocked the Casbah, even if Shoddy didn't like it. But
right, no, I definitely agree. Hold on, I got it. Patrick can't post in the chat, so he's texting me. Patrick McHugh said, still haven't purchased a single thing post game. Call him an old man. Patrick is a purist where he believes that every game should come out complete with any and all future content already set, no DLC after the fact. It should be one story from beginning to end, and that's it.
Well,
he's also a huge Nintendo purist as well. So
okay, and Nintendo has only recently gotten onto the DLC bandwagon. Hell, look at what they did, and I think that all started with Fire Emblem Awakening is when they started introducing that stuff. Now, that is another interesting type of situation there because I love the hell out of that game. I will admit I have never finished it. I have bought quite a bit of the DLC for it, and when a DLC comes out, it comes out in 3 maps, and there's multitudes of map packs that are these 3 maps, and you could buy each individual map, or you could buy the pack. That would technically be like a season pass, for lack of a better term. But each season is very, very well shown out. Like, these are the 3 maps that will be in your season. It's $6. You get all 3, or you could buy them for $3 a pop. So that I like. The future shit that they're like, and I think it was Batman that was like, you're gonna get Batgirl, you're gonna get Red Hood, or no, Red Hood was somebody's exclusive bullshit. You're gonna get Batgirl.
GameStop. I'm still fucking pissed about that.
I'm sure it'll come up for like $5 at some point. It usually does. I mean, even the stuff for Borderlands 1 and 2 did, and that was stupid shit anyways. But it's one of these things where they're like, you're gonna get man, I want to use Watch Dogs. Let's use Watch Dogs. You're gonna get T-Bone's Bad Blood. You're gonna get some new like little trips that you could do, and many more. It's like, what the fuck is this and many more bullshit? Have a plan, know what you're going to do, and tell me what it is up front. Because if I'm gonna drop $30 on a season pass, the last thing I want is the last 2 drops to be like coats for what's his fucking and Watch Dogs. That's stupid. That is legitimately stupid. Like, I actually looked at buying Cold Heart for Batman Origins on the PC, but the cost of it was just too high for me to dive into that. And I could have gotten like the season pass that would have cut it down, but then there's a bunch of challenge rooms and a bunch of different Batman skins that just didn't matter. My video is lagging. Okay. Yours was too, so I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, sound is coming in before video now, so I don't know if it's just probably just the fantastic interwebs. Not to interrupt, but as far as like the season passes continue, speaking of Batman Arkham Knight, you went and bought hard disk, and I pre-ordered it digitally the same time I pre-ordered the Devil May Cry 4. I did them both same day. And I paid for the pre-order, which also is in season pass, which also came with the Harley Quinn story pack. It was like $90. So, and that also got me the Batgirl pack. Now, the Batgirl pack took an hour and a half to complete. And with that, it was a good story. I was slightly upset that you can't leave, and this is I'm not going to spoil it completely, but the story pack for Batgirl is centered in its own area. It stays there. It doesn't go into the open world of Gotham, right? And it's the same thing for the Harley Quinn story pack, but that only took me like 20 minutes. If that thing comes out by itself for users to pay if it comes out for more than $5, I'm going to say don't buy it. The combat is fun, but that's about it. And I put that on my review that I have on my YouTube channel.
Real quick, I'm sorry, man. Just one of the things that I think that Harlequin is I actually think it's, so you remember back when still using Batman, you remember when Batman Arkham City came out, you had to buy it new to get the Catwoman thing, or if you bought it used, you had to pay for Catwoman separately. So I
Right.
think that Harlequin thing is still their little what do they call it, EA access or new pass or whatever the stupid terminology they used to use for it, and they were like, we're not doing that anymore. This Harlequin thing and the Deathstroke thing on Origins are exactly what that is. It's like if you buy it new, even a year later, like I saw a Wii U version of Batman Arkham Origins and it still had the Deathstroke code in it, so it wasn't a pre-order bonus. It's one of these things where like they're going to tell you it's a pre-order bonus, and they're going to try to push you to.
It's hyped to buy the game because publishers and producers will base potential profit and run of the game to see if it was worth it on pre-order sales. That's why they hype all that stuff so much, because otherwise you don't know how it's going to go at launch. If you have pre-orders and 90% of people only do pre-orders, like GameStop, you walk into GameStop, what do you get told every time you walk into GameStop or Best Buy on day one? Because you don't pre-order. Everything's pre-order, bro. You can't get it. You got to argue with them for 15 minutes to walk out with a damn copy with all the same shit that wasn't a pre-order. And they just grab it from the same stack. It really doesn't matter. It's 6-1, half dozen of the other with pre-orders. But again, that's a separate issue. Again, as far as my item on season passes go, I think it's definitely up to the consumer. You've got to make it worth it on your own to make that choice. I'm not going to be the guy that says I'm never going to buy one, just because there is always going to be a game that's going to have additional content after the fact that I'm going to want. And I don't want to spend, if there's going to be 5 episodes of additional content within the first 6 to 8 months, which is first season is about that long. If it's got that much content in it, I'm not going to sit there and go, well, I'm going to spend the $10 for each one and pay $50 and I could get it all for $35 fucking dollars. That's just not me.
Yeah, well, and I understand where you're coming from, but it's
the
also
way the gaming industry is going now. The old man Patrick and even old man you, it's something that you have to get used to, because games aren't going to come complete like they used to. I mean, and I'm as sad about it as anybody else, but the gaming industry has changed, and it's going to continue to change and do that. And the only way that really fixes itself is if every gamer doesn't buy
the
any
season pass.
Yeah. Or DLC, and nobody does it. You leave all of it alone. That's the only way that it changes. But then you're going to look at the prices of games going up. You're going to see deals. Your deal is going to be, your price reduction in 3 months is going to be $6 to $60. That's what it's going to be.
If it's with more content, you know what? I can make them wait. It's again, as you've said, it's one of these things where there's business and then there's the consumer. Is if they want to go ahead and jack up the price and stop doing DLC, that's fine. Everybody's going to start waiting except for the diehard fans. Would I buy Halo 5 at $80? No. Would I buy it day one at $60? Yes. Am I going to buy any DLC? No, because it's all going to be map packs, because I don't give 2 shits or a fuck about that. I am not good enough anymore at first-person shooter multiplayer, except for Titanfall, because I just drop a robot on people and I'm good to go. But it's... Oh, shit, I'm getting too drunk. I can't even, start to articulate what I want to say.
Hold on. While you're sitting there, I'm going to hit the chat up real quick, because I think we skipped over a couple of things. Cynthia stated she got the Telltale thing. I know we hit over that. Those weren't season passes. You're just getting the whole game in one go. Hassan mentioned GTA 5. We already did that. Let's see. Cynthia piped up with, dude, I love Destiny until I got to the ending, which is pretty much said, get ready to give us all the money if you want to know what really happens. And I was already still burned out by the Final Fantasy 13 clusterfuck of stupid sequels that I just could not waste any more time. I can agree with, and remember, I've been playing Destiny since day one, just like probably a couple other people that are watching tonight, including Ian. We all day one it. I day one it on my 360 because I was a cheap ass at the time and didn't have a 1 yet. The only reason I continue to play it off and on right now is because of the social aspect. But I day one it. I beta tested it as well. I also got the season pass and everything straight up day one, because I knew that if I had put faith in the fact that the creators of Halo, which I enjoyed, I wasn't a fanboy, but I enjoyed it. If they were coming out with something better, and I've been waiting for a completely open world FPS game, if they were going to finally do it, they were going to change the way that gaming happened. And I was going to be all in. So, granted, I'll straight up say it. The Dark Below one, House of Wolves, as far as the additional content with that actually wasn't a bad deal. There were more missions because they started, I think they added some extra shit once they saw everybody crying about the Dark Below. And I really have high hopes for the Taken King coming out later this year. I don't like what they did with the pricing for that, and I'll agree. I mean, Ian and I have had bitch fests about it, that the pricing for the Taken King just got ultimately stupid. But really, with that game, you have to be down to do the grind and do your bounties and do your weekly resets for 2 or 3 days sporadically with friends. That's really what it's about, is playing with friends, not so much the content of the game, which is Bungie's fault, which is really, it's not even Bungie, it's Activision's fault. Activision straight up screwed them on how everything happened.
Very true. I have to agree. And it's some of the stuff that really burns me about the Destiny DLC, though, is like, keep in mind when we were talking about what was that game? Borderlands. I specifically said 8 to 10 to 20 hours of added content in each DLC drop. And that season pass, I believe, was about $30, $35, or $40, which is almost the exact amount that I paid for the season pass on DLC. Yes, I bought the season pass for Destiny. I got 2 gift cards at once, and Ryan had just gotten his Xbox One, and we'd been playing it a lot, and I was like, well, this guy's already got the season pass. I'll go ahead and waste my money as well. So I went ahead and did that, and it was after the Crota's thingy ding ding was whipped out that
the Dark Below,
yeah, that I did that, and I already saw him stream it and beat all of the pseudo campaign that's in there, which only took him 2 hours. Everything else was the raid, which you do not have access to unless you have 6 people that want to play with you, or if you have the time to go ahead and find one of the forums that the community has put together, because Bungie left that whole thing out of it to where you could randomly talk to people until recently, where they finally put it in where you could chat with people.
Yeah, they started getting into invite-only chat. They found that they thought that was a purity part of the game, or an exclusivity part. There were problems with the Crota thing, and I don't like the Destiny LFG site just because so many people are being, you have to have a max 365 Gjallarhorn to do anything with this group, and then they boot. They have a group of 5, they get 1 person, they'll boot that 1 person at the end of it. There's horror stories like that shit happening all the time, which is why some people champion matchmaking. I champion the option to select matchmaking for raids or for full Prison of Elders. You can only do matchmaking in the first set. The other 3, you have to have a team of 3 for each one, because they're like mini raids. But I mean, you pick one or you don't. If you have a team, you have a team. If you don't, you can select matchmaking and go for it. You don't have, with raids, you have to be able to communicate, though. That's the big thing. You have to talk to people during the middle of the raid. You've only done part of one of the raids with me. So that's the big thing.
Yeah, well, now, one of the things that they do have in the House of Wolves that I like for Destiny is that
Brock finally showed up, so I said hi.
What's up, Brock? Is that shit? Now I've lost my total train of thought. Is that the Prison of Elders thing, where when you do it on the lowest possible setting, which was, I think it was like level 28, you can do that in matchmaking. Now, the thought process to me is, if you do that multiple times over and over again, you get an idea of how to run the whole kit and caboodle in there. You kind of know what to expect. You kind of get the layout of the maps that you're going to be involved with. So then they should make it available to where you can do, damn my brain, higher level in the Prison of Elders with other people because you have an idea of where everything's going to be. You don't need to communicate, but then open up the ability to. Like back in the day when I used to play Halo 3, if you had a headset on and you weren't in a chat party, you were listening to 14-year-olds spew racial epitaphs and call you almost
I'm gonna bang your mother.
Yeah, well, you know what? I was actually one of those old dirty bastards that would start to instigate fights with people. So
Oh hell yeah, that's why I really want to get. I'll start doing first person shooter games like back in COD for normal chat stuff when I can actually get all the chat and the game stuff to come through the stream, because that's worth it. Yeah, you sit here and drink and do nothing but talk shit to people. My staff sergeant did that one night. I gave him the mic while I played like Modern Warfare 2 sitting at his house in California, and I just let him roll at it, and it was hilarious. I do think that they should go back to like what it was in the beta, where you're just running around, and when you get closer to somebody, it sounds like you're talking through a comm unit. I thought that was cool, and I know you did too.
oh yeah.
So other than that, let's actually look at the chat here. So Cynthia said you couldn't even play it until there was a certain level, which is around 30s. Yeah, that was for Vault of Glass. You could get to regular Vault of Glass. You could hit at 26. Hard was at 30, which at the time was max level. Rolling later, Dark Below, they upped it to 32, and now it's 34. Granted, it is very easy to get to 34 right now, just with the armor that comes through one of the vendors. It resets every week, but it's very simple to get.
And I'm sorry, she also could be referring to Borderlands 2, because there was kind of, for lack of a better term, a level cap for those. Like going into certain ones, you had to be a certain level, because when I went into them after playing through the main storyline, I started into Vault Hunter mode, which would be like New Game Plus, and my guy was a little beefy, so I tried to do New Game Plus in the DLC there, and I was getting whooped like super bad. So I had to do it on playthrough 1, and then I was just overly stomping the shit out of everything. It was dying left and right, which made it, again, no fun. And I mean, look at this. So again, going back to 4 bits of DLC that were all 8 to 10 to 20 hours long, $24.99. That if we're going to argue that season passes will hang out, that is reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to get content like that for $24.99, in my opinion and in my experience with season passes, that's a deal. It's almost as good as getting, if you could get at launch for Assassin's Creed 2 or Brotherhood or Revelations, if you could get the season pass for like $5 or $10, that's the same amount. That kind of equals out. Grant, you're actually getting more content with the Borderlands 2 thing, but I think you understand the point. I mean, yeah, that is a deal, but you're not going to get from most publishers. You're not going to get that kind of content, and the whole reason that you're not going to stems from kids, from 14-year-olds going, "Mom, buy this for me for this game. Buy this for me for this game." And that's what drives it, is because you have all these kids that shouldn't be playing these fucking games, playing them and forcing their parents to buy all the extra shit because, oh my God, I need it right now. I need it right now. I need it right now. And that is what's driving the behavior of producers and publishers.
I have to agree with that. In fact, one of my favorite experiences in a GameStop, and there's not that many. In fact, I've stopped going into GameStops because of the whole, if you go day one to pick something up, they tell you everything is pre-ordered. Did you pre-order? So it's kind of one of these things where it's like having an Xbox One, especially an early adopter as I am, I know that system didn't sell as well. It's still not really selling as well as the PlayStation 4. So I really have no fear of walking into a store and being able to buy the game. So I go to Best Buy because they're going to have it. They always do. But my favorite experience was walking in and listening to I think it was a 10 or 12-year-old kid talking about buying the Zombies season pass for World at War to his mom, and she was like, okay, well, that's fine. And this is when GameStop finally started to implement telling the parents what's in an M-rated game. I will get to you in a second, baby. And it was one of these just jaw-dropping things to watch this woman of probably 50 years old listen to what her 12-year-old son has been doing with his free time for the past, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 months. She's like, are you serious? This is the stuff that you've been doing? This is what you want me to continue buying? And the guy behind the counter goes, he's got the core game. You've already given him into most of it. It's just nobody's told you what the game is about. And I wanted to chime in and say, well, you're just not that involved in his life to know what he's interested in and what it's about.
Yeah, but then you're giving somebody else parenting advice, and you don't really want to do that in a public forum because then you'll get beaten with a purse or something.
Very true.
Here, let me hit the chat up real quick because Cynthia piped up. Don't think Black Ops 2 is holding back content, or Black Ops. My bad, Borderlands. I apologize. Holding back content. Felt like more they just didn't stop working on the game before they finished the main storyline. Now, honestly, I wouldn't know. I didn't play Borderlands or Borderlands 2. Just like, and there's a lot of people that are probably about to freak out, but I never played Final Fantasy VII either.
Wait, what?
What? You know I never played Final Fantasy VII. I've made that comment. And Hater said, I'm not good with seasons because it's pre-purchased before it's made. Hell no. That's not necessarily the case. Sometimes they have it pre-made. They have a plan and a release plan, and they've probably got the first couple installments pre-made. That's why they can promote them and put out the commercials and ads and things like that. Everything else that you might get, which is why and many more happens, which I agree with Ian, that's kind of bullshit. Tell me what I'm going to get. Tell me what your plans are. I think that I mean, again, it's not, if it's not worth it to you, don't buy it. Wait till everything comes out, buy it individually, pay the tax on it individually, go for that. You won't be able to buy. Actually, this is the messed up part: is you can wait till all of the seasons, all the stuff's out, and then you can buy the season pass after the fact and get downloads after that and still bundle. You wanted to wait. You could either wait for Game of the Year, or if you didn't want to wait that long, wait until you see people on Twitch run through the DLC and get a couple of reviews in, say, okay, I'm going to buy this. Let me get the season pass now so I know what I'm getting into. That's another way to go at it. Cynthia also threw out Psycho Class wasn't included, didn't expect them to make it until after advertising the season pass. Okay, that's a whole lot of Borderlands 2 stuff that I don't know about.
So real quick, what was so you were talking about picking up the season pass at a later time. Now, I'll agree with that statement. So the whole season pass idea actually started with a game called LA Noire. That's where it started. Rockstar actually started this clusterfuck, as Rockstar usually does. And it was one of these things where I picked up LA Noire for $20. It was fairly new, and then it was one of these things where after a certain while, my dog is jumping on my window to kill June bugs. One, I love that about my dog, and two, get off my fucking window. So it was one of these things where when I finally got a hold of the game, there was a sale going on, and I got the season pass for $4, which added, I think it was like 9 cases into the main game, which I'm not sure exactly how many hours it added in, but if we're going to break it down, I would say I got my money's worth from it. I got to get this dog. I'll be right back.
No, go for it. Go get the dog. So, I mean, just to hit the chat again, you know, Brock brought up he's waiting until everything comes out for COD, then he's going to season pass and do all that stuff. So, for personal opinion, Advanced Warfare isn't going to be worth it, bro. I really wouldn't recommend going at it. Hater says seasons are never good regardless. You know, they have a release plan, but you don't know. It's just like 2 months down the road. They won't say what it is even 2 months in. Well, they're not supposed to, because they have to hype it. They have to give you just enough of a taste. It's like being a drug dealer. You got to give somebody just enough of a taste to make them come back and want more. And
how do you know how to sell drugs?
So Hater also says
avoid the question. That's the good way to go.
Because they don't want to get blasted with day one DLC, which has a big issue. Yeah, I mean, there's been a hot button on that for probably about 6 to 8 months because of games like Destiny, and nobody's really harping on the Call of Duty franchise because that they should. That game has been notorious for day one DLC since Modern Warfare 2. Since the second installment of their Modern Warfare series. Everything has come out with DLC day one and season passes, and nobody has truly bitched them out the entire time. They just say, oh, it's COD, let's roll it, because it's the yearly FPS that everybody buys.
there's just too much of it. There's too much of a fan base behind it. There's too much of that MLG bullshit behind it. Where the pros are going to buy the what is it, the hardened edition, which gives them all of the DLC, which is the $100 version of it, I guess, and it comes with the stupid little add-on like the night vision goggles or the quad thing that you did, the camera
Oh,
stuff.
the quad rotor drone craziness.
That's it. That's the one.
Yeah. No, I'll never do another season pass for Call of Duty just because I probably won't even buy another Call of Duty, to be honest.
So Cynthia's one here. I have to agree with her completely on the BioShock Infinite season pass. It was one of these ones where that game came out and the original. So we're only going to talk about BioShock 1 and BioShock Infinite. 2 doesn't count because it wasn't made by Irrational Games. Okay, let me lay down that catalyst right now. So it's one of these things where that game came out, one of the greatest single player campaigns ever in a game. If you've never played it, you need to play it. I'm looking directly at that tiny little box and I'm yelling at you. That's right. That's right. Get close. Get close. And you
That
need
was
to play.
creepy. That was creepy.
You need to play through that. It is one of the greatest. So when Infinite was coming out and they said that there was going to be story-based DLC that came with it, dude, everyone was like, "Oh, sweet!" And I even toyed with the idea of the season pass, but I was like, you know what? They told nobody what is in the season pass until it was close to whatever it was coming out. They told.
So they just said, "Buy this." You don't know at all what you're going to get.
Well, I mean, they did state that there was going to be story-based DLC that would be in it. So the first bit of DLC that drops is actually challenge rooms. And the combat in that game wasn't even that great in Infinite. The combat wasn't good. It wasn't fantastic. It was the story. Nobody was there for the combat. Breathman, back off.
Oh man.
But so then they finally came out with 2 bits of DLC, and it as far as I know, because I never played them, it was a bit of a coin flip. It was like a 50-50 if you liked it or not, and things were different between the two, but it was like the same story, but then they changed the gameplay mechanics. I don't know.
Well, so, and I want to go back and hit something. I got to scroll up in the chat because I got to hit something that Hater said, and I have a feeling he and I are going to be similar to what you and I do when we argue about it. He states that day one DLC is a big no-no. It should have just been included in the game. So I'm going to take a split stance on that for the part of, and I'm going to bring up 2 games. So if it's Destiny, I'm probably going to bring up Destiny just because the rest of it's hypothetical. So with Destiny, both Expansion 1 and Expansion 2 were in the game. They were ripped out because Activision said, rip it out and sell it as DLC later. That was a bad move. I'll straight out say it. That was a bad move. They would have had to come out with a Taken King much earlier and in separate chunks with their DLC release plan. Now, as far as day one DLC, the only way that I would ever be okay with it is if you think about it the other way around. If you include it into the game, say there's not enough space for it, first of all, in the actual gameplay itself and in the coding. If there's not enough space for it on launch, which is a weird-ass way to look at it, you're not going to be able to get it in. But if you can, if you fit it in, you get everything in there, there was cost, there was money spent to make that. There was a budget for the vanilla game and a budget for DLC. Now they blew through this. Now they're going to add this into it. You got to add that into the retail price. So now you're looking at adding, say you were going to sell it for $10 extra. So now the game is $70. Say it's $85 because you wanted to get $25 for that one piece. If it's like a BioShock piece and it's got stupid amounts of content, you know, if you're going to do something like that, I said BioShock, I meant Borderlands, my bad. If you're going to do something like that, then you're going to just bump the main price of your game. So I'm going to just straight out ask, Hater, what's the maximum that you'll pay for a game day one? I'm going to scroll down and look at these comments.
No, hang on, because Cynthia actually made a good – now, I've got 2 things. Cynthia made a really good point about like the 2 gig patch on day one. That shit, I mean, yeah. I understand it as a consumer and as a business, I can understand it. Do I like it as a consumer? Hell no. I want to put that's along the same lines as having to install, because I collect. I I I collect bullshit. These are all Disney Infinity figures. I collect bullshit, and this is primarily for my son. But still, when he's done with them, they're going up on a shelf. It's one of these things where it's like I collect, so I love having the physical disc for something, and being that I have to bring home the physical disc, stick it in my system, and it has to install before I can play it, and it has to put on what other type of gigage patch needs to go in to fix it. Let's not get started on the fucking debacle that was the Master Chief Collection with its
Where it was like
day
15
one
extra
20 gig patch. And what that did is that gave you the multiplayer. So if you didn't have internet access, you couldn't do like a split screen you versus me type of thing. We couldn't do it.
Wow. I heard about that when Master Chief was coming out, that it was going to be, they maxed out the Blu-ray disc that it was on at the 55 gigs or whatever it was, and it was going to be an additional 15 something gigs installed day one, just because there wasn't enough space on the disc to cram it all in there. And Hater brought up, if you're greedy, you just day one DLC. It's not about just being greedy. Yeah, I'm guarantee you, because corporations and capitalism, it's in there. Greed is in there. It's what drives our freaking economy. But at the same time, you have to look at it from a cost perspective. Be a business for a second when you're making the decision whether or not you're going to purchase something. That's all it does. So, I mean, it is what it is. If day one is retail, I won't pay anything a week later. If you want to be DLC, bring it out later. Guild Wars and Guild Wars 2 anyone. I never played that. So anybody.
I've got Guild Wars 2. Hater can attest. We've played it once, and I spent $15 on it. I really need to dive back into that thing. Now, here's another thing that I want to kind of touch base with on the day one DLC. Now, this ties in with day one DLC, and it also ties in with early DLC. So let's say 3-week DLC tops. Mass Effect 3 had a day one DLC for the Prometheus class or character, which was supposed to be a dead race. You weren't supposed to be able to get them at all, ever. But if you bought the N7 edition, which was the special edition, it came with that in there. Or if you pre-ordered it or some bullshit like that, you got it. But me, being the person that buys vanilla anymore, it was one of these things where it's like that is something that you would buy for 10, 5 additional dollars or 15 or whatever. I'm not even going to start harping on you about Evolved, but I want to.
Oh, don't, dude.
So, and then the other thing I want to bring up, again, with the day 1 to the day 15 or day 20 DLC, on disc DLC. Now, I don't know how much of a problem this is going to be in the future, but I tell you what, man, when I bought Gears of War 3, I was super stoked about playing Horde. Even though I knew all of my friends had moved on to playing on PC, that I was going to be playing Horde with random people, that's fine. I was like super stoked. Just sell me the different characters. I don't care. Give me different maps. I want to play it. I want to have fun with it because I had such a blast with that Horde mode. That first pack comes out with, I think it had 3 characters and then I think 1 or 2 maps or something along the lines. I can't even remember. 1 kilobyte.
Oh,
that shit was on the disc that I paid for.
That's dirty. That's dirty. No, I'll agree. And Hassan actually brought some shit up earlier with what I think it was Street Fighter versus Tekken. I think is that what you brought it up with? Yeah, because all the characters are already hard coded into the disc, but you still had to pay for them. So if it's on disc already, then I mean, it should be unlockable either by main story content or number of playthroughs, depending on the type of game, difficulty settings. Case in point, for every Devil May Cry game that we've played, and there's a couple of people in this chat that are big DMC fans. I know you and me and Cynthia are. Everything up until recently has been unlockable. You play through it, no part of it was downloadable. It was all, you've got to play through it on different difficulties to get different weapons and different costumes and different characters. You had to beat it. You had to beat it on normal, on human, on Dante Must Die, or whatever they called it, nightmare mode. It didn't matter which, depending on the game it was. But that is a prime series example of on disc content that is unlockable. If it's external and they created it after the fact, whether it's a new coat, a new gun, camo, talking to you, COD, and or I don't know, I can't even think of anything else right now. If it's that crap, then charge for it. I think it's stupid personally for $1.99 for fun, and I've paid for it, okay? But I think it's dumb for $1.99 camo pieces for multiplayer shit just to look all spiffity spaffity as you're running around killing bitches. I mean, why? Why? Make it unlockable based on level or number of prestiges. Do that. Because otherwise you may as well make it a free-to-play game and just make it microtransactions.
Well, actually, just sidebar real quick. They do have a free-to-play Call of Duty game. I think it's over in either Russia or China. I think it's called Call of Duty Online. It's not accessible by us. So as Ryan has talked so much about DMC lately, and we are doing our currently weekly races, which is probably going to be coming up to an end here soon because I think we're getting close. We're going to go ahead and we're going to do one of the game giveaways. I don't know how many people we have in the chat right now, so we're going to go ahead and take care of at least one of them. Because bitches that want bling will shell out that money. That's true. Because they are dumb. She's talking about you. He gets up and walks away, doesn't even hear that burn. You better get some water. You better get some water for that sick burn I just dropped on you. Okay, so given opening, BRB, need whiskey. He'll be back in 6 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do a giveaway for one of the games. I'm going to go ahead and pick which one out of the two. Now, granted, I haven't stated which games we're giving away at all. So I might be blowing my wad right here at the beginning. Now, these are PC games. These are codes through Steam. Unfortunately, I can't give out anything else. It was a humble bundle. I did happen to already have these two games just for full open consent. I'm letting you know. Now, again, if you are watching or listening to this at a later date, I do apologize. You're not going to be involved in this. Subscribe to the Late Night Enforcers YouTube channel, Twitter, tweet at Sleek Stealthy 85 and Fiend 75002. We'll definitely let you know when these are going on, and then you can actually participate in these because you have to be here at the time of the question. Okay.
Sorry, so, I'm back. I had to run to get more whiskey because this fucking bullshit is taking its toll.
I didn't even get to my question yet. So.
Oh, good. Well, yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay. So, for a copy of the Stanley Parable on PC, and yes, this is a game that you have to play through multiple times to get multiple different endings. It's very hilarious. If you haven't played it, please enter into the contest in the chat. And again, this is a DMC-based question. What was the original name for Dante's character when they first came up with the idea that ended up being DMC? Give me the original name that they came up with, and then somehow I'm going to send you a code for that game. If you don't already have it and you want it, I will get that code to you. So I will give a couple of minutes for you guys to put your answers in here. I got a pee, so I'm going to use that as a timer. So I'm not going to lie. I'll be back. You're going to have to listen to Ryan.
Jeopardy shit anymore. I'm done with that. But I will sit here and talk to people and talk some shit. So let's see. I'm surprised Cynthia hasn't answered with what the actual thing is. And how many of you are Googling right now what the answer is? It's probably a simple, hey, what was Dante's original character name for DMC1? You could probably, I'm surprised that nobody's Googled it and just spat out the answer yet. Like, I don't know, Brock or even Hassan. Hassan would have been like, oh, done. Here's your answer. Come on, dude. Come on. Okay. Now that drink is done. Quick plug while everybody's hanging out here. Again, wearing the Apex Fitness. I'd rather be blanking. I'm going to go ahead and sit up in the camera. Yep, rather be blanking. And then on the back, we see the flexing. And then on the side, here's the logo with the Apex Fitness. If you want yourself a good workout, 12-week plan or 6-week plan, whatever you need, hit him up on Twitter. It's at Fitness Apex. On Facebook, he's got his own page of Apex Fit. It's recently changed. You can, if you go to my Twitch page, twitch.tv/sleekstealthy85, you can find all those links on there. I've got my Twitter. I've got Ian's Twitter and YouTube. I've got all the links possible on there that you could ever need for stuff like that, including Apex Fitness. Guy's pretty reasonable. I've deployed with him. I've known him for years. Great dude. And he's won two fitness competitions. So,
bingo. Cynthia's got it. She wins. Cynthia wins the copy of Stanley Parable. That was slower than I thought it was going to be. In fact, I told Ryan up front that you were going to be the person that answered the question.
Yeah, we all thought it was going to be you, Cynthia. We just thought it was going to be like he would say it and you would answer it versus you Googling it. And Brock, yes, I have taken it off. It's actually fresh out of the shirt because fresh out of the wash because I got some new shirts that I don't have in here right now, but I got some sleeveless hoodies that are DBZ workout stuff. So
I've got a new shirt on. I've got a new shirt, and that's right.
That is a sweet shirt, and I think it's very, very well timed for tonight.
Let me lean up, stand up a little bit. So, for those of you who don't know, of course, everybody knows that the red masked guy, that's Deadpool. If you don't know who Deadpool is, educate yourself. And if you don't know who the yellow masked guy is, get the fuck out right now, okay? Because that's Deathstroke. That is one of the greatest mercenaries in comic book history. He came long before Deadpool, but shares a lot of the same attributes, except for the fact that he is not a mouthy little bitch. He gets the job done. He's a man of the money. That's what it's all about. Okay, where were we? Okay, so
I can't wait. I cannot wait till you start playing through Arkham Knight, and that's all I'm going to say.
Okay, cool.
Based on stuff that you just said.
So I need to watch Son of Batman because apparently he's the villain in that show or in the movie.
The Son of Batman with Damian. Yeah, dude, that's a good one. I like the animation that they're doing with Batman in the newer DC versions where it's a younger version of Bruce, where he's kind of fresh and starting out. I definitely like that animation.
I was swearing until I got to the computer.
Patrick said his name is Steve, and I said, no, it's Tony, and he said, no, the internet is wrong.
Really? Well, okay.
Really? Patrick McHugh, I'm going to say this one fucking time. The internet is never wrong.
No, here's another thing. And I did, it took me a minute to even get ready to do this because I had to find my other source material. This is the Devil May Cry novella that was based on the original idea. This is not a manga. Hey, let me hold this properly. So it is a novella that talks about one of the original stories that was going to be done for what DMC was originally going to be. And the first name on the back is Tony is a rough and tumble jack of all trades.
Boom. So there you have it in hard print on paper, not some digital bullshit on the interwebs.
Well, I mean, the internet's right, too, because I had to double check myself.
Well, right. But, you know, you have Patrick McHugh who's talking shit. You shit talker. Yeah. Lies. Okay, so hold on. I'm going to go ahead and say something real quick because there's people in the chat that probably don't know what's going on. I have challenged Hassan / Omega Hanzo in the Arkham Knight challenge rooms that by the 18th, gameplay has to stop on the 17th, but at the 18th, we're going to check scores. Every side challenge on Arkham Knight will be reviewed then, and the winner will be the one person at the top of all of the leaderboards for us, between him and myself. And I can't spoil it for you, Ian, because I know some of it is going to be parts of the story, at least have aspects that relate to it. I'm not going to tell you anything about it, but let me just say that there are pieces of the combat part that are difficult as hell. And he was beating my ass, and I played a little bit last night and ended up taking 2 of the challenges away from him. Now we need to take the other 2 and then move into the actual Predator and Batmobile and all this other stuff so I can start working on that. I got you, bro. I'm coming after you. Don't you worry about that.
Yes, because he's coming after you. because he's dead set on beating you because currently he is losing to
You
me.
shut your face. You shut your face.
Oh,
I'm
let's
gonna beat you.
argue.
I'm
Let's
gonna
argue
beat you.
the truth.
I'm
Let's
gonna,
argue the truth. I'm a full mission ahead of you, son. And I got lost. I thought like I was losing a lot of time, but I'm still a full mission ahead of you. For those of you who don't know, this has nothing to do with Hassan. No disrespect, man. Total respect here. Me and so Sleek Stealthy Orion are currently racing in Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition on the Xbox One, and it's one of these things where we're doing just a regular main campaign. We're not doing any of the other people like Virgil, Trish, or Lady. We're playing through that, and we're doing a race like we did with DMC, the reboot thing, a little while ago. Wow, did you hear my voice? It's like I'm hitting puberty.
it must be all that facial hair that's finally growing.
So he beat me at DMC that we did a while back. I wish we could put that on YouTube, but because it had an actual soundtrack done by two actual band group people.
My side is on YouTube, so if you want to watch the winning one, feel free to look at my playlist and watch me beat him.
I hate you. So, you know, I can gloat. I can gloat now that I'm ahead of him in one of the most backtracking, loss-inducing little fucking game. Like I'm legitimately getting pissed off at this game. I haven't, because it's been so long since I played it, I forgot how frustratingly stupid it is trying to get around all this shit. Like that shit last night that I know you got through, I got through it, was the purple haze shit.
No, yeah, that was easy.
Where eventually you had to jump off and go under the bridge. I totally fucking forgot about that.
That's the first thing I did because I remembered that as much as I played it when it came out, that top part you have to jump off and then go through the side and through that one door and then go back down the way. And then there's one spot where everybody always gets turned around when you're running through the woods. Is instead of going through the purple stuff, you actually have to go to this place where there is no purple shit, and then you go back through more purple shit. I screwed that up once and went through the no purple shit twice and ended up as like, I'm in the wrong spot. Damn it, I was turned around. But I whooped the ass out of that boss that you took forever on, and I swore I was going to catch you. And then at the end, you stopped piping up on my chat. I finished. I'm still a full mission ahead of you. I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. I will not lose. I just can't. It's not going to happen. So,
it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
It's cute that you think it's going to happen.
Oh no. It's not cute. It's handsome. It's debonair. It's suave as a motherfucker. It's gonna happen. You're going down, son.
Oh, I'm going down. Are you talking to me like this? Don't even start. You ain't even from the area. You shut your mouth. You shut your mouth right now. I'm gonna call my boys. Don't make me call my boys, and I'm gonna call them from Chicago.
Hey,
don't make me do it.
You're coming at me all wrong. So your mom, can your mom sew? Ba-bam! Have it stitch that up. That's right. I'm going to do that all night. Because somebody forced me to watch Joe Dirt 1. Joe Dirt 2 is a pile of shit. Don't watch it, okay? If you haven't watched it yet, and you want to watch it, don't watch Joe Dirt 2. It's a pile of shit. No. No. All right, so I know we got off on rants about Devil May Cry and me beating Ryan at Devil May Cry currently. So I don't know if we've actually finished our little debate when it comes to the DLC. Now, granted, there's no way you're going to convince me you're right, and I don't think there's any way that I'm going to convince you that I'm right. So, real quick, in the chat, let's go ahead and throw this out, and then you and I can talk amongst ourselves because I'm a little verklempt. What do you guys feel on Season Pass? Give me a yay or a nay. I give you guys a couple of minutes, and we're going to tally them up.
This is a general question. Remember, it's a very general, based on what Ian and I have discussed this evening and everything that we've put out there. And we've even kind of sided on the other sides of our own arguments a little bit. So based on everything we've put out, yay or nay, in generality, are season passes, whether it's pre, post, doesn't matter, worth it? And would you ever buy them now or in the future?
Yeah, so give us a yay or nay.
So, aside from that, you said you're off tomorrow?
No, I have
next week.
I have the young man this weekend.
That's right. So you got the kiddo this weekend, and then next week you're going to be off Thursday.
Yes.
Okay. Well, the next one that you're not doing nothing, let me know. You can come down to Addison. We can go to lunch or something. I'll skip lunchtime cardio that day, and we can go hangs out.
I'll, I'll skip my workout to hang out with you, bro. Fist bumps.
Patrick fist bumps. Patrick McHugh says no, humbug, because he's a Scrooge.
Patrick, you and me. Yeah.
I got Brock to go yes, but I knew that was going to happen. That was a win in my bag regardless.
Well, that's because of destiny.
Well, it's not because of Destiny. Brock and I have been playing Call of Duty for a while, and he and I have always season passed it together.
I'm done with the cardio. Lol. Do packs count? Now, when you talk about packs, are you talking about map packs? Because if we're talking about map packs, no, they don't count. What we're talking about is buying all the content up front or after it all at one. Well, you know what? Let's say up front. Let's focus it primarily on up front. Would you be willing to buy the content up front with what's the term that Jim Sterling always uses? Sight unseen. Would you be willing to buy that with just a vague statement of 2-story and more, or something similar?
Okay, I like that. So I'm going to say yeah. So as far as Hassan's questions, I'm going to say yes, that packs count, because he's a fighting game dude. Almost exclusively, he's a fighting game dude. So when he's talking about packs, it's likely character packs. You maybe get a few little maps in there as well, but it's mostly characters. But
yeah. See, I mean, he even still clarifies. Technically, the combat pack is like a season pass. Yes, it is. It is a season pass. If I'm not mistaken, they still called it. Well, I think the press release referred to their season pass being called the combat pack. So, and it's Mortal Kombat. They can't possibly go with anything else. And right. You even spelled it the way they would have with the K, with the combat pack. So, and I'm talking about the K at the beginning of combat, not the end of pack. Just to clarify.
Sorry, I had to respond to Patrick's text message telling him he was an idiot, but you know, whatever. If people want to live like dinosaurs in the past because you're old as fuck, go for it. If you want to adapt and change with the gaming industry, side with me.
Now, I will agree with him to a certain extent. If you want to go ahead and give them additional money after you've enjoyed what you've already ingested, I guess is the term I'm looking for, give them money. Now, another one that I need to just kind of throw out there real quick. I realize that we've already asked the question, and most of you have already given your answers. I can't even remember most of them. I think I won this one. Again.
No, right now it's still tied 1-1. Cynthia's half and half. Cynthia's half and half, so we're actually going to have to not be able to count hers because she's not able to take a solid stance. And I know Hater's going to agree with you anyway, so you technically have 2.
Okay, and then I know someone else is going to agree with me, aren't you? Yeah. And so
don't fall for that bullshit. Don't you do it. You're grounded if you do it. You know who I'm talking to.
So another game that I really want to focus on being really shitty with their DLC is Asura's Wrath or Ashura's Wrath. I'm not sure how to properly pronounce it. It was a super interesting concept game. I think it was from Capcom. It was one of these ones where it was more, the game was almost all QTE, which was exciting and stupid all at the same time. I bought it, I played it, I enjoyed it. The thing I hated is to get the true ending, you had to buy the DLC. So you know what I did as soon as I finished it is I jumped on YouTube and yep. Yes, you do count. Yes. No. Yes. She does count. She is a viewer. She has a voice. She counts.
That is so cheating.
You didn't see me pick this up and tell her, you better say no or there's just nothing else coming out of this sweet, sexy body. She's looking at the screen right now, just shaking her head like this.
I see you're doing this. This is what I see her doing right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm expecting a text message here in a second.
Oh, yeah. I've been getting them from Patrick. I've been talking to Patrick the whole time. He keeps saying, you know, all the content, don't put a game out unless it's complete. No DLC ever. Get it all at once and play through it all. You're not going to get that in this gaming industry, bro. Stop trying to live in the past. It's not going to happen. The gaming industry has changed too much, and you as one person, as one buyer, as one consumer is not going to change it. You're not going to be able to convince the entire gaming industry of consumers to not buy season passes and DLC. It's not going to happen. It's
So
a physical impossibility.
here's how I want to put it to everyone. And Hater, I'm not discrediting you, because you know that you and I are sitting on the same side of the table. This is stupid bullshit. But you and I are educated adults. So let's look at it in this way. How many people in our audience watch wrestling on a regular basis, like weekly, and also pay for the either the WWE Network or the monthly pay-per-view events that happen? There was something that popped up here that I wanted to tie into. Hanzo, I too actually I bought Killer Instinct like that as well. But it's one of those things where it's like you're not buying a game and then you're buying the season pass. You're buying the pack, especially for Killer Instinct. It is the pack. That's because I want every possible character. That way, in case if someone comes over and they want to play as some other character, I've got every character available. Now, granted, I haven't touched Killer Instinct since I think it was what the hell, the little ghosty guy came out. I think that was the last time I touched it. Yeah, WWE Network is that's what I'm referring to. The reason why I say that is because DLC and season passes are going to be exactly like that. The only reason why WWE still thrives is because their audience comes in and then their audience goes. But there is a constant flow. There is an in and out. I'm not going to deny it. There was a time.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was reading the chat and Sam made me laugh.
Wait, what did she say? Wait. I would if I was still 16 and had a raging boner for Stone Cold Steve Austin still. Yeah.
Now you know what your competition is.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to start coming to the gym with me and shave your head.
Yeah, that's shit. All right, so I'm not shaving my head. I can tell you she wouldn't like that. So it's one of these things where it comes and goes. It ebbs and flows. So me and Hater are the kind of people that are going to sit on the table. We're the old bastards, as you're saying, that are sitting at the cafe.
Get off my lawn!
Yes, get off my lawn, or sitting at the cafe looking at the kids dressed in all black with their 18 different face piercings going, what kind of America do we live in anymore? We're corporations take advantage of youth. That's exactly the America we live in, is where corporations take advantage of anybody. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to go on a political rant. I'm not.
Corporations are taking advantage of everybody forever. That's just how it's always been.
Right.
That's the whole principle of capitalism. Otherwise, we'd be a socialist country, and we're going to stop right here, because otherwise it's going to turn where we don't want it to go.
No, we don't want it to go.
Yeah. So anyway, sorry, I had to put the glasses back on, because the later it gets and the more I start drinking, the more stoned I just look. So
I'm not even going to tackle that much.
My eyes start looking like this, and I just start looking so tired and blah, blah, blah.
Is his name Hisaku? Do you know if they're going to bring, like, because I know Shadow Jago was for if you, like, pre-ordered some other bullshit, and I didn't pre-order some other bullshit. I want Shadow Jago, but I don't want to, I can't compete worth a shit for that guy.
Yeah, hold on. I wanted to scroll up and read some of the chat. Okay.
I need to do cardio and grow a foot taller, apparently.
He needs to do more than cardio. The dude needs to start lifting some heavy weight. He needs to lift heavy things against the force of gravity. And I'd be more than happy to have him come work out with me, but he's going to have to drive a little bit too far to make that happen.
Yeah, on a regular basis. And I'm going to have to shell out a bunch of money that I'm not willing to do. If I'm not willing to take the time to actually walk my dog around the neighborhood on a regular basis, do you think I'm going to take the time to go to a building and lift pieces of metal that range in pounds from 5 to 50 on a regular basis?
50, that's cute.
Well, I mean, that's all I ever see you lifting in the little selfies that you send out.
Oh, I'm not actually picking up those weights that are in front of me. Right now I'm on a lightweight one, but yeah, I like it, son. Get big. Yeah, man, I'm going to go heavy after this cycle. I'm telling you what. Go back to heavy.
Go back to heavy.
Hey,
We
man.
must save little baby.
Okay, so do we want to do this this second giveaway?
Yeah, okay, we'll do the second giveaway. Cynthia is not eligible for the second giveaway.
I completely, wholeheartedly agree. If she has already participated in one, she does not get to play a second time.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Again, this is a Steam code that I'm giving away. This is for a platformer hack and slashy Metroidvania type game called, and I'm probably going to get this wrong because I've drank too much. Outlander or Outland, something along those lines. It's got a very Iraqi type of gameplay mechanic to it, where your guy can change colors, and based on the color that he is, he can absorb certain bullets from like a bullet hell type of thing. He can also jump, and he has a sword and all that other shit. I don't know
He
what
has
to
a
say.
sword.
You was at the computer. Google it as I am saying these words, okay? Outland. The guy is black silhouette. He's orange and blue, but not portals, okay? He's dots. He's dots flying at his face. Let's see. Lift shadow a few times a day. Very funny. She's not old enough for me to have to do that.
Outland on Steam. I will post link from the Steam website into the chat so that people can view it. There we go. Message not sent. Remove any web addresses. Really? Really? I can't do web addresses. That is some bullshit. So Google's Outland, one word, and go to the Steam, go to store.steampowered.com/app/305050/.
Okay, so I'm wondering if we're even going to get a winner for this, because I'm starting to feel the temperature of the audience, maybe, that everybody has it that wants it, and whoever doesn't have it doesn't want it. So we're going to stick with the DMC based questions. I'm going to ask another question. Again, Cynthia, you are not capable of winning this, so please do not throw out the answer, because I know you know this. Devil May Cry was actually pitched as a different game to begin with. What was the game that it was pitched as prior to it being marked as its own franchise and set to begin? I'm going to go pee. Be right back. Talk amongst yourselves while you Googles.
You googly, you googly, you googly. Yes, really, Sam. It is a race. I don't know about y'all, but it's been a week, and I can't wait to start playing. Hey, so what should I play tomorrow? Go ahead. Well, then whoever wants it should probably scroll up and read it then, huh? Scroll up and read it. Yep, do that. I already finished the whiskey. All right, I'm done. I can't keep drinking whiskey if I continue to drink. Let's see. So Patrick McHugh says Castlevania. He is the first one to answer.
And that's wrong.
He is wrong. He said Castlevania to both questions.
No. Castlevania is not the answer to the question.
Castlevania, sir.
Tempo the badass elephant. Considering that game just came out, yes, that's what it was supposed to be.
I don't play games on the computer. I used to. That's actually how I got started playing games. If you have not seen, please watch the intro video. I know Sam has seen it. I know Cynthia has seen it. Not sure if anybody else has watched. Apparently Sam and Sam's mother have even watched it and laughed at a couple of different things. I don't even remember what they laughed at anymore.
Wait, hang on a second. Now I'm having a mini panic attack. Sam's mom has seen that one?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
the look on your face was awesome.
Let's see. I don't play games on the computer. Okay, so I'm going to be upfront with you guys. I mean, and I'm not disrespecting anyone here. If we don't get an answer within a couple more minutes, I'll go ahead and answer the question. We'll just hang on to the game and give it away at another time. In my opinion, we got a winner for the best game out of it, and that's why I gave it such a difficult question. This one's there. You go. But Hanzo, I thought you said you had this on the 360.
He does. He's probably just answering it to be able to answer it.
Okay, well, Hanzo, do you want the code? Because if you don't want the code, well, I mean, I could still send you the code, and then you can pick someone to send the code to. It's up to you. So you just let me know. I'm assuming Ryan has your contact information because that would make
Oh
it
yeah,
so
yeah,
much
yeah.
easier.
I got him. I got him.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Good with the scrolling, Omega. Boy, is there a 40-second delay on this fucking thing?
Not 40. I think it's less than that.
Really?
Yeah. You're actually asking him if he wants it now.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, he got tired.
I got tired of not answering. I like that answer.
I told everybody as soon as Cynthia said I already said it to scroll up and read it and say it. It really shouldn't have taken that long.
Well, I think it's another one of these things where anybody in the chat that wants the game, Hanzo is stating the first person that says I want the game gets the game. And then there's that awkward silence for about 20 minutes where I do the jazz hands. All right, I'm on beer 4. Tomorrow's going to be interesting.
Yeah, that's going to be really interesting for you. I'm not.
I've got the opening shift tomorrow, so.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
that's right. Well, yeah, it's getting to that time of the week where you need to be on that shift anyway.
Well, somebody's having a comp day, so that's.
What do you think I should play tomorrow?
What do you mean? Are you streaming?
Yeah, it's Thursday. I think my schedule is going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That way, Tuesday I stream my stuff. Wednesday, I'll either stream or race you. I mean, if I'm racing you, I'm streaming.
I like how, real quick, I like how Hanzo says that I'm a Capcom fiend. I love that. I actually love that. Do you have a PlayStation 4, or is that why we got
He's got both.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
All right. If you're in the DFW area when Street Fighter V comes out, I would love to swing by and play that for just a little bit.
He's actually on the beta, even though they took it down from the servers.
Yeah. Oh, that was bullshit. How many times did you press any button? Like during the weekend? Like, do you have just an estimate of how many times you had to press the any button? But what do I think you should play? Well, dude, we need to start figuring out what we're going to do after we finish DMC, because I am not going right back into that game. We got to figure something out. Like we could play IDARB.
We both downloaded that game with the intention of drinking and playing it, and we never did.
Fuck the beta.
Dude, you don't. I saw him post a beta, and then I was at work, and I saw on Twitter Polygon posted that they took it down from all the servers indefinitely. And I instantly messaged him 74.5
times. I was about to ask how can you 0.5 a button press to get in there?
Yeah, well,
I mean, I guess I could. You know what? Fuck it. I'm done. Fuck it. I'm finished with it.
He slid his finger over the button and went, no. So no, I messaged him and said, bro, I'm so sorry. I know your day is shot now. So I'm thinking, yeah, we could probably roll some IDARB for a little bit, but that's really, it's not like a multi-week type of thing. It's really like a one-shotter, because I played a little bit of it, and it's a stupid drinking game. So it'll at least be hilarious for people. But what do you think? What do you think about after that?
What you should do is you should go onto your 360.
Oh, do you want to do
about it and said, do what?
Do you want to do Injustice? I can stream it, so I can stream you and me playing Injustice.
No, because I have to have a stream on Wednesday because this is my day. What you need to do is you need to go on your 360 and purchase, if you hadn't already, Battle Block Theater, and then we should try to figure out how to. Ryan, do you have Smite? Figure out how to put in to do a Battle Block Theater stream together. Like you have it on yours and I have it on mine, that kind of thing. That would be good.
Well, so if you don't get a capture card, and I know you were talking about one a little while ago, if you don't end up getting a capture card that'll work, then the only other way to do it is to have me stream and have you host me. on Twitch. That way we're both streaming.
Or
Or
I
hell, you could just host mine.
and or I stream because we're playing some backwards compatible bullshit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so BattleBlock Theater is backwards compatible. So that's why I'm saying, since I sent you the invite into the preview program,
I should just download it on my one.
well, I don't think you can access it. You have to go back and purchase it on the 360. Then you will have the license to it on the one.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then one of you can give me a friend code so I can play BattleBlock Theater. Didn't I invite you into the preview program, Sin? Smite is great. Ryan, you suck. Ryan, if you are going to play on the 360, let's play Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Oh,
I'm gonna
yes.
say
I want to
this.
see that.
I'm going to say this right now. I refuse. I'll tell you what, bro. I'll play you on Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and I'll stream it just so people can see how badly I get my ass kicked.
Oh.
Keep in mind, I no longer have my fight pad that he gave me, and I'm going to be rocking a regular controller unless he wants to give me one of his spare fight sticks that he's got.
Hold up, my amigos. Because what I could do for Ryan, since he's not too far away from the pad where I reside, is I could roll over to his place and drop him off this beautiful Tekken 6 fight stick and watch him get his ass handed to him on this Tekken 6 fight stick. You break this son of a bitch, I'm going to kill you. That's all I'm going to say. Because I'm going to watch that stream. That is that's going to be something worth checking out.
Hells yeah, I'll actually stream that. So I can do that. I think I still have that game. I got to find it. I don't know if hard disk or not.
Oh, I've got a hard disk.
I'll buy it again.
I have a hard disk. Do you have Ultimate or do you have Vanilla?
Oh, he's probably got Ultimate.
Okay, well, you would need Vanilla because I bought Vanilla and 2 days later Ultimate came out, and I'm a huge Ghost Rider fan, and then they announced Ghost Rider as being in the Ultimate. That's it. That's part of the shit that made me fucking pissed off at Capcom.
Yeah. This is the problem with him is I already know who he plays with. He plays with those three people right there and whoops ass. He named his cat, rest in peace, Dormammu.
Phoenix wreck all the shit. I have to agree with that statement. She is like a wine glass though. If it falls over, it's broke. It's done. You're fucked. It doesn't matter.
That's why he puts her last, so he lets the power bar go up. So if she dies, she goes Phoenix, and he comes back and whoops ass.
Okay, so here's the thing. Ryan's got all this money that he spends on season passes. Let's have the chat just chant that you need to go out and buy Ultimate Edition for your 360 and download it so that we can watch you and Hanzo as Hanzo just removes your ass from the backside and then hands it to you and then sits back while he watches you devour your own ass for his amusement.
See, I've actually played with him and friends. There's a whole reason why I know how bad this is going to be. I've played this game with him. But I'll do it. You know what? I'll do it for entertainment.
What's the price on it? You've got internet there. I've got like so many different windows open that I'm looking at right now. I'm not even going to bother.
Marvel versus Capcom 3. Fate of 2 Ultimate.
I mean, he has that big fancy job. Quote Sin. Blue Blaz. There's another one. I've got one of the versions of that one. I snap Phoenix and I decimate her with one combo. Is dears for me. BlazBlue. I have that. I can lend that. Well, hang on. I got to figure out which version of BlazBlue I have. And if it's still on my shelf or if it's in a box. I need another bookcase. I need another bookcase for all these games that I have. That I have more movies on that bookcase than I have games. And I have a few books. This is just to show people I'm not illiterate, though. That's all the books are there for. Yeah. I haven't read but like 2% of them.
I'll check my I've got a drawer with all my games in it. I'll go check and see if I think I got Ultimate so I could play with. If I have, I've played with Hassan on this game, so I probably have Ultimate.
Well, no, I mean, it is a Capcom game, so there are two
Later,
versions of the game. Wait, is Hater out? Gotta go sleep.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's 11:20. I'm surprised he hung out this long.
Shit, it is 11:20. We're gonna have to wrap this up here soon.
Yep. So, well, so we never really got a winner. We kind of have a couple. I have
bullshit. I won that.
No,
I
you won.
No, fuck you. I won.
Based on the vote of the chat, you won. However, you and I will never agree on the topic alone. Yeah, if not, we can definitely do some Injustice. I can rock some of that. And actually, we can do for Injustice real quick. Ian has it. I will stream it. We can all go into the room, and I will stream the whole thing for everybody to watch, and we can all be in an Xbox Live party chat. Boom.
I like that idea. I like that idea. We could do that. Hanzo could take turns just slapping the fucking piss out of all of us. Real quick, before we wrap this up, Hanzo, I need an answer. Do you want the code, or are you okay with us holding on to it to give away at a later date?
Yes! Hassan has a yes as a vote. I get 2. Woohoo!
What? Wait a sec. No, hold up. Hold up.
No, he said he had to take, or way earlier he said he had to take back his never comment.
Well, he said he had to take back his never comment because he was buying the Pip-Boy edition of Fallout 4. I asked him, did the Pip-Boy edition of Fallout 4 come with just the Pip-Boy and the game, or did it come with the season pass? He said, I have to get back to you on that. That's what he said. I never saw any response.
But he never actually said no. He never answered. He just said that you can hold on to the game, but he also just said that he has a yes as a vote. So I get Brock and I get Hassan, which is hilarious to me. Because, well, you'll see on the 18th, Ian, why it's funny to me that I get both of those two.
But see, don't I get, and correct me if I'm wrong, didn't I get Hater, Sam, and Sin?
I don't know. Personally, I was going to say we don't count Sins because she was wishy-washy. Hers is based on the game.
All right. Well, no. Shit. Screw it. No definite winner.
Hers is based on the tiebreaker. So, Sin, now on who wins this. And you could call it as we end this.
I'm a genre-specific gamer. Okay.
See, I'm glad that Hassan actually said it because I'm not going to say it live on the internet.
Okay, that's what he means. I got you. Okay. Wow, that took me a second. Okay, and I'm not wishy-washy. I'm smart. So, all right. So we have no definite winner. We've got 2 and 2, and then 0.5. Okay, whatever.
So let's leave it as tied, and we'll actually make the determining winner of our argument off of the next time we do a debate, the Great Debate 2, which will be based on pre-orders. Again, Ian and I are on opposite sides of it. Sometimes we slightly agree, but I don't see an issue with it. He hates it. We'll let it run to the next one. Stay tuned for next month. Make sure that you tune in. I believe we're going to roll live again, get some chat going. We'll have a good time. It'll all be fun. Make sure you hit sub to this channel.
I gotta know. Well, if you have to twist my arm, no.
What? No!
I win! I win! Check that shit out. Out of left field, Cynthia saves the day and throws Fiend a bone.
Okay, Cynthia, I am unfriending you on Facebook. We are no longer homies. You can have all the properly placed pizza that you would like.
That's right, I'm dancing. I don't give a shit. Fuck y'all. I wins this one. I'm going to win the next one, too. Y'all are going to have to wait for that one, though. Oh, shit, I shook up too much beer in my stomach. I shouldn't have done that. I'm out of breath now. I need to go do some cardio with my bro that would rather be flexing.
Oh man, well, everybody make sure you hit sub to this channel, you hit sub to mine and to Fiends. They're all listed as the featured channels on our main page. Make sure you hit that up. Hit us up on Twitch if you haven't already. Hit us up on I do have a Facebook page. It's same as Sleek Stealthy, and on Twitter. Our Twitter handles are underneath our names there. Next month, we hope to not wait till the end of the month. We have to worry about getting everything scheduled out. So
one other thing that I want to plug, and I plugged this one on the other one, so I got to plug the other one on this one, is if you are big into video games, which you're here for a reason, it's not because of my handsome face or Ryan.
It's because of mine. I'm pretty.
Fuck that shit. If you're big into video games and you're big into craft beers, I'm on another podcast called Super Barley Brothers, Super Barley Bros. Feel free to check that bad boy out. We are on iTunes with that. I'm not sure where this one lands, so I'm sorry. Ryan's in charge of that shit. We also have a group that Ryan's a part of on Facebook, Super Barley Bros, on the Facebook thing. We also have a website, so feel free to check that out. And as he stated, I am on Twitch as Fiend75002. I'm also on Instagram, Vine, whatever the fuck, Friendster, MySpace. I'm a whore when it comes to the social media. I'm on everything, so it doesn't matter. Feel free to hit us up on anything that you want. If you can't find something that we're on, send us a link and we'll join it and we'll get our names on there.
Most def. So hey, you know what? It's been fun, everybody. We're probably gonna cut this off. We may stay in chat for another minute or two, but other than that, we'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.
Out, motherfuckers. Have a good night, guys.